Panther Ranger.
Hey YouTube, Panther Ranger here. Today I am back with a review of the Power Rangers Lightning Collection, Blue Ranger from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. And this is a special video because I got this on Amazon during the Prime Day deals. But before we talk about the packaging, let's talk about the packaging. As you can see, you have the amazing Power Rangers Lightning Collection logo. And you have the Lost Galaxy, and it indicates the season name and character. You have the amazing Hasbro logo. And on the side here, you got an amazing artwork of the Ranger. And here's the age and the warning sign. And on the side of the box, actually, you can see a little bit of the artwork continuation, which is amazing. And you have the amazing Power Rangers Lost Galaxy logo. Let me see that. That's that. And on the back of the box, you have a digital rendering of the figure doing his pose, holding the weapons. And I really like that it's spot varnished, which is amazing. And you have an amazing background. And on the back, you also see warning signs and the Hasbro logo. And on this side of the box, you see an artwork of the Lost Galaxy Blue Ranger. Same artwork, but it's in a different position. And on top, you don't see nothing much as well. And on the bottom, you just see UPC and all that stuff. Now you saw the packaging. Let's get him out. Alright, here he is. Finally out of the packaging. Whew. But before we talk about the figure, let's talk about the accessories. So why don't we move him out of the way and talk about the accessories. As for accessories, he does come with a variety of many things. So why don't we move these things out of the way? And let's talk about this one accessory, his signature weapon, the Quasar Saber. Come on, focus. Yeah, I gotta zoom that in real quick. And come on, focus. There you go. I really do think the animal face print is really well painted. The edges of the sword is amazingly sculpted. Even the paint job application is super nice. Even the sculpting on the sword is so amazing. The silver is well painted. And on the tip of the sword, I do think they did a good job. Come on, focus. Okay, there you go. Yeah, that's a lot better. Yeah, the gold paint is amazing actually. And on the inside as well, it's really amazing. And on the back, it's almost a similar thing, but instead they have the Lost Galaxy logo. And the amazing zigzags are amazing. Of course, you see that on the front too. And on the tip, the gold paint is painted very well. And here's your folded up version of the Quasar Saber. And it's almost pretty much the same thing, except this part's gold and all that. And the wings are basically folded up, once they open it, and of course the zigzags and but the problem is that this has to be the V is not there, so that's a little bit of a problem. But anyway, let's talk about the next accessory. Here's his trans dagger in claw mode. I do think they did a good job with this. I just wish this was a little more shiny silver. But the blue paint is really amazing though. The gold is amazing. And the handle is pretty amazing. And he does come with two hands, his fisted hand, if he wants to get ready for punching, And his karate chop hand. They are sculpted very well. And last but not least, his civilian head. Would you look at that? I do think they did a good job with this head sculpt. That looks so realistic. The hair. Wow. I do think it's a good likeness to Kai. And his actor, Archie Cow, is this looks exactly like him. This is what a real person should look like. The ears are sculpted very well. The eyebrows, the eyes. Wow. I'm very impressed by it. The hair sculpt looks looks like actual hair. And enough about the accessories, and let's move on to the main star of the show, the figure. Now looking at the figure, I do think they did a good job with the helmet. I mean, I really like, how they, painted the eyes very well for the Gorilla Zord. And the silver paint is like, well sculpted. That is a lot of detail. I mean, the visor is painted very well. Even the mouthpiece also. The helmet is sculpted very well, I would say. Even the Charlie Brown tops, or aka the zigzags, like, it's painted very well. I mean, like, the white plastic is like, wow. Even the belt buckle is like, painted very well. Even like, the arms as well. Even this holster is actually painted very well. The legs, like, even the boots are actually painted very well too. Like, the zigzags, and yeah, on the back, it's like, and of course you can get his, like, put his, like, civilian head on this. Wow, would you look at that? Come on, focus. Yeah, come on, focus. There you go. Would you look at that? That looks so screen accurate. I do think it looks great on this suit. And it is a really good likeness to Archie Cow. And of course you also can get him to, like, hold his Quasar Saber as well. Looks like he's getting ready for battle. And you can even get his, like, put the special effects piece on here. But that's okay, You can also put his, like, folded Quasar Saber here. That's what it's meant for. Come on, if you can put it in there. There you go. That's more like it. And now let's talk about the accessories. Sorry. Articulation, I should say. As for articulation, you can get him to rotate his head 360s. You can move his head up and down. And you can do, like, a little bit of head pivoting. His arms rotate 360s as well. Like, same thing with the left arm. Yeah, sorry, a little bit of a butterfly joint in both the arms as well. And you can get his, like, there's like a double elbow joint, if you can see. And there is hand rotation as well. And you can get his legs to move up. And there is like a double knee joint. I think I should be careful with that one because that, so like I'm worried it might break. Yeah. And there is, like, you can move his feet as well. And there is like ankle pivoting. And you can rotate his legs as well. Yeah, just like that. I think I need to be careful because I thought it's gonna break, like, like, yeah, that is definitely something I should worry about. And as for measurements, like, he stands at about, like, around, like, 6.5, like, around that range. And let's move on to size comparisons. For your Blue Ranger comparison, here you have the Lightning Collection Blue Ranger from Power Rangers Beast Morphers. As you can see, he's a little bit shorter than Kai, but they scale well together. But one thing to notice is that this is a different shade of blue as well. This is a little more dark, and this is, like, a little bit lighter. And they also both have the same animal powers. Next we have the Lightning Collection Black and Pink Space Rangers. As you can see, like, like, black is somewhat shorter, but pink is definitely shorter. But they do scale well together. They both appeared in the crossover in Lost Galaxy. Next we have the Lightning Collection SPD Red Ranger. As you can see, he's kind of a bit shorter, but they're almost about the same height, but they do scale well together. And lastly, we have the Lightning Collection Dino Thunder White Ranger. As you can see, like, Dino Thunder White is somewhat shorter, but both figures are the same height, but they do scale well together though. Overall, I give this figure a solid 9 out of 10. And what I like about the figure is, like, the paint applications, the accessories, and the weapons for sure. But one of the problems about this figure is that, the right leg kind of has, like, a little bit of a, like, a bright blue, like, that indicates that it could break. And that's a problem that I'm a little concerned about. But otherwise, it's a good figure. But for the accessories, like, the Trans Dagger has a little bit of an issue. It's not shiny enough. It's like a dull, like, gray. But like, for one of the Quasar sabers, like, like one of the parts, both sides have like, the animal face print instead of the V on one side, like the unfolded one. But otherwise, like, the civilian head is a really amazing head sculpt. And I really do think it looks so much like Archie Cow, who played Kai on the show. And that concludes my review of the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Blue Ranger from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, share this video, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you can stay updated in the next videos. And I will see you again in another video.